Okay.
But I was going to get it in before I hit the record button.
Nice try.
So basically our committee decided a while ago that with the whole COVID issue, single tenting is going to be the way to go right now. So we're in the process of securing 40 backpacking tents. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to assign one tent to every scout. They have that scout for the duration of their scouting career. Once they hit the 4-year mark, that tent becomes theirs. If any point in time during an inspection or a use, the tent is deemed not worthy of use, the scout is responsible to replace that tent for the purchase price. The tents are typically running about $199-ish dollars. I've gotten them down to $92 and some change. That's a 2-person tent, 2 vestibules with a footprint, lifetime guarantee, factory direct. I personally bought one last week, and I sent him an email jokingly stating that I was kind of disappointed I didn't get the group rate. I had to pay the list price off the website, and about 6 minutes later, I had my credit card getting dinged where they gave me back the credit. So they're a phenomenal company. I'm waiting for a little validation from them before I can provide everybody an update of who it is. But I have bought other products from them in the past. It's a fairly decent sized company. It's not a huge company. So it's very personal and very, they tend to do a great job for everybody. Our troops plans to go a little bit farther. Because we have linked troops, boys and girls, the girls will be in a tent of a certain color. The boys will be in a tent of a certain color, and the adult leadership will be in a tent of a third color. So that way you can keep everything separated. In the heat of the moment or the emergency, you need to know who's where. It makes it a little bit easier to figure out who is where. I think it's a great idea. That way there we're not dispatching and handing out tents on once a month or twice a month, and then bringing them back. And then someone's like, well, it's been in the trailer for 28 days. Is it really clean, or is it still got full of COVID? So, we're just making sure that we do everything by the CDC guidelines, the same way I highlighted it to our charter rep, the same way I discussed it with Frank and Erica, and also the same way I presented my policies and procedures to the town of Wilton. So we've got our bases covered, and I think we're all going to reap the rewards of that now. So my gift to the rest of the troop and the council, and that's why, Erica, I asked you this morning what the numbers were, because I wanted to make sure that the company that I'm talking to has an idea of the scope of magnitude of what they may be exposing themselves to.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nope, that's great. I mean, again, Dave, I got to give you credit. You've always been proactive rather than reactive. And yep. And I mean, it's again, if anybody's looking, contact Dave. If you want, we'll put put the contact information in the chat. And you can give he can fill you in on the information. He did it last night with our the leaders forum last night. So that's but I mean, it's hard to get a tent, especially a 2-person tent of quality, and especially lifetime guarantee for the $92. So, and I mean, I know it's a lot of money for a lot of troops, but it's something I think he's on track 100%. Because I mentioned that for even Lockpomony, we're looking at half the people that we can normally have at camp, even summer camp. So maybe clearing sites, making them bigger, making room for more tents. Some units may be requested to bring their own trailer with some of their own tents this year. So we just don't have the money to replace them all. I see somebody. Hi, buddy. Hi.
He's got a few more years before he's a lion.
Look at that curly hair.
I think, Dave, that you're putting the onus of keeping the tents in good shape and whatnot, responsibility back on the boys rather than the troops. Gives them a little more ownership.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
We've tried everything else. We've said, hey, we're going to give this to you on, here's your tent for the weekend, and in the 48-hour period, they can lose half the tent. And you're not going to discover that until the next time you pull it out of the bag. So some of the discussions the committee's had is putting there's a policy that they're going to read. We have created a 6 or 7 page policy, which has all kinds of forms and doodads and things that they're going to go through. And then once they sign off, they'll have the parents will also have the acknowledgement that, this is an investment that our troop is making in our future, and we want to make sure they stay a part of it. So the incentive is, here's a tent that in a simple 4 years will be yours. Take good care of it. Or, hey, this tent's ours, so let's take good care of it for the next 4 years. So it should be a win-win for everybody.
Nope, great idea. Appreciate the information. Have at it, Dale and Wes.
All right.
Welcome, everybody.
To follow along with our roundtable agenda, we give Erica a shot to put in whatever she needs. Maybe a little bit about popcorn, Erica, or whatnot. Or
No.
I know
Does
you
any-
just finished with our previous meeting, but
No, I know. Does anybody have any questions on popcorn? I know the information has come out. I'm sure you've seen it. But I'll go over a little bit, but I kind of want to start if anybody has any pressing questions or anything about popcorn. Nothing? Okay, so we're in the middle of the online direct sale. So even if your unit is holding just virtual, if the families aren't comfortable doing anything in person, you're holding virtual meetings, or even if you are meeting in person, the online direct sale is ongoing. There's no contact between the scouts and the customers that way. The popcorn's mailed directly to them. They get, the scouts actually, because they went to a point-based system for rewards this year. So basically for every dollar spent, every dollar earned on a online direct sale, that scout is earning 2 points. For every credit card sale through the app, the scout earns 1.5 points. And then for every other transaction, cash, whatever in-person sale, it's 1 point per dollar. And then again, Amazon gift cards this year from Trails End for those rewards. The free shipping promotion, I want to say debacle, ended, not ended. They have settled on the free shipping level being at orders over 30 for the online direct orders. So the customer will get free shipping. That cost of the shipping is being passed on to council. And then Twin Rivers decided not to pass that on to the units at all. So the commission is still 35% for the units. There's no any decrease in that for the shipping. So orders below $30 online, the customer still pays the shipping for that. So trying to think what else. Take orders and show and sell orders are due on October 6th to council. And then distribution is going to be the weekend of October 22nd, which is a Thursday, through the 24th, which is the Saturday. No returns this year. So any take order, not take order, any show and sell product that you order, your unit has until it's gone. And that's just the one distribution. As far as show and sells go, I'm still going to attempt to get some set up with Walmart, Lowe's. I had them set up at a couple of stores before COVID hit, but of course that changes everything and we're not sure exactly. I've kind of been holding off and letting them get through as much of this mess as they can before I reached out to them again, because Tori and Mohawk has reached out and not gotten good response. So I kind of want to wait a little bit, just a little bit longer to see if we can get some of those sites secured, and then we can do like a sign up genius and open it up to the units to sign up for that if your unit is going to be doing in-person show and sells. I would say some other ideas. I mean, just think outside the box. If you are going to be scheduling show and sells, think outside the box of other places. That we were just talking in the commissioner meeting prior to this. I know some units have contacted like a bank. So if a drive-through, credit union or bank is closed on a Sunday, ask if you can use their drive-through and have a drive-through, popcorn sale, or even for, recruitment night kind of thing. a lot of, and if you don't, if a store isn't necessarily, like, I have a plaza over here where I live with a Hannaford, a Dollar Tree, all that kind of stuff inside that plaza. Contact the owner of that plaza if you want to do an outdoor sale in their parking lot or something like that, instead of not necessarily in front of the store, who may have a policy that won't allow you to sell in front of the store. Maybe, reach out to the owner of the property and see if they're willing to allow you to set up there. There is a challenge going on with Trails End. It was kind of thrown out there, came up with, I think, by either a parent and a scout and a leader, for a challenge to get a sale from all 50 states. And so scouts were making, maps of the US and coloring in the states where they would get a sale from. So there is a promotion for that going on from Trails End. I'm sorry, I don't have it pulled up right in front of me, but they are doing like gift cards for the first so many scouts to get the 50 sales. So that is ongoing with Trails End, and they are backdating the sales for that. So for scouts that started selling early on, they are going to look at those prior sales and include those sales from those different states in that. Did any of that information prompt any questions? Anybody? No? All right. I think that's it for popcorn right now.
All right, Betty, you got some training coming up?
I do. My Super Saturday training is October 17th at Camp Wackpomedy, and that is for den leaders, both troop and pack committee members, for the den chiefs and for the cup masters. And that'll be from 8:30 in the morning until 12 in the afternoon. We'll be doing it in the dining hall. I also have ILOS coming up, which is going to be at Camp Saratoga on October 16th and 17th. And all the registration is already up on the calendar for everybody to register. I also have a Baloo training coming up, which is October 9th through the 10th, and that's going to be at the Clifton Park Elks. Now, on the website, you're going to see that there's a COVID form that you would have to fill out and bring with you. And we have different rules and regulations, which is also on the website. If there are any questions, the resources tells you who you can contact in order to ask any of the questions that you might pop up with from now until then. If there's anything else we need to throw on, we will actually email it to anybody who is actually signed up.
Hey, Betty.
Yes.
At Camp Saratoga, there'll be a health screening analysis that has to be completed on your arrival.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be signed on site, so I'll give you copies of that. That's the agreement we have with the town.
Okay, because we are also going to be doing the screening too, with the thermometer and all of that stuff.
Yep.
So, yep, just send it to me and we'll make sure we do what we need to do.
Okay, Frank, you have anything? You're muted, Frank.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Now you can hear you.
Okay, well, my computer clicked off. It made a wacky sound that clicked off. So I'm back on my phone. No, the only thing I really don't have anything that I can't remember what we just talked about on our
Share quick.
I'm listening to Wes talk. Let me think. Betty talked about the training. What else we got? I can bring up a little something about the for Cubs. There's 9 of us taking the. I can't remember what I'm doing now. What screwed me all up when my computer went out.
The Cub webinar?
Our range safety officer training Thursday and Friday night. Talking to Stephen, we want to open up the ranges at Wackpomedy for the Cubs. The Cubs couldn't get any of their shooting sports pins this summer, so they're going to be able to come up, and we're going to schedule times for them to come up and we can be able to get them their shooting sports pins. So that's something that's coming up. Will be probably the last week in September, first week in October. Hopefully, I'm looking at my calendar book as I'm doing this, so we can get something for the Cub Scouts to come up. We should be able to do our slingshots, BB guns, and archery. So again, we'll have the range officers. There's, like I said, we'll talk about it on our 2 nights of training, and I'll see if we can get a list of people that are willing to come up and get some dates, and we'll share them. It's probably going to be a sign up, maybe by pack, but I know a lot of, especially, I think I don't know if they're going to allow it, but give preference to the AOL scouts that are going to be crossing over if they wanted to get their shooting sports pins for their last year, their Webelos and AOL scouts, so they can get their shooting sports pins. And there'll be more on that soon. Other than that, I can't imagine. I don't think I can find anything else that we've got going. So that's
Okay.
it, Dale.
2 things that were scheduled to be talked about tonight was Fall Camporee, which has been canceled. Cub Scout Rendezvous, which has been canceled. So the next big topic that we're going to talk about, which is very important, and a lot of packs and troops are struggling. A lot of times in the past, we had breakouts on this for Cub Scouts, and Boy Scouts went and did something else, but we're going to keep everybody together for the simple reason that recruitment that they're doing for Cub Scouts can also be used for Boy Scouts, particularly if you don't have a pack underneath you as a feeder pack, or your pack is struggling. A lot of the packs right now are struggling. So the Boy Scout units may be wanting to do a recruitment night similar to what the Cub Scouts have been doing in the past. Mary Ann?
Yes, thanks, Dale. Yeah, there's a theme this year that the council put together, and it's called Heroes Start Here. You know, scouting recruitment was always hard in the past, but this year is going to be particularly hard. But if, you know, I think bringing it online and having some folks meet this way may help a little bit better. So a lot of parents are always pulled in 10 different directions. One night or maybe even 2 nights of getting this on, they may be able to get some more information and understand what scouting is more about. I know that Erica is going to be talking to the schools and the other people in council to see if we can get flyers either in the schools or if they have any e-flyers that we can put out there to get the word out. What you should do is talk to your committee to see which type of recruitment night might be best for your pack or troop. You can do the traditional in-person, a drive-through like Erica was talking about, or the virtual online recruitment night. What I would do is continue to use what they put out there last year. There's a 5-station method, and you'll need volunteers for this because you'll need at least 5 people to talk about different areas. At Station 1 is basically a meet and greet. You can have your Cub Master, your charter organization rep, your committee chair there to talk about a little bit something about the pack or troop and to welcome them in. What I am going to have is some packets ready to either be handed out either virtually through email, or if we do have anybody interested that will be coming to any of the scouting events, hand it to them right there. At the Station 2, have someone, maybe one of your scout parents or even a new member coordinator there, and show pictures of what the pack or the troop has done in the past. tell them how you help in the community, the food drives, the cleanups, all that stuff. The activities that you do, the camping, the hiking, your Pinewood Derbies, your Rocket Nights, all that is some good information that they would like to know about. Step 3, I'm thinking maybe our secretary to go over this and explain like the pack calendar. People want to know, okay, when is this then meeting? At what time during the year? But of course, you're going to need to make sure before that happens, you need to get the dates in place and to know where you're going to be meeting this year. We're hopefully going to be using the American Legion for our indoor pack nights and den meetings, but it all depends on where you're at. If you're in a school, you're not going to be able to go into school. You might want to think about, okay, maybe trying to go to a local park, trying to get some things on the books in there. In person, hybrid, whatever you think that you might be doing, jot it down on a calendar. You may want to include your pack or your troop budget to show them where the funds go. Explain how your fundraising supports the units. Do you have a unit newsletter or a Facebook page? Include that all information in there. That'll help them be able to see what you guys do as well. Oh, this was a good one. Include a guide to uniforms. I was just on an email, 2 or 3 of them. Parents were asking me, what do the kids need? Where do I go for them? How much do they cost? Etc. With having that handy, you just send it right on off to them and they'll be able to see, you know, their pricing. And I also include the Scout store, but also include the online if they need that. And make sure you have a list of the leaders and the information so they can get in touch with them. Step 4 would be to explain how they can apply online. New Scouts will be charged the $25 fee. The adults are not. And it's kind of a lot, well, it is a lot simpler this year when they apply online because now they can just pay right there and within a matter of time, minutes really, the application is on your Scout book page or myscouting.org. The key 3 will get notice of that. Once you accept the application, it goes right to Scout book. It was a matter of minutes from when I accepted an application and Rob Gatt called me and said, who's this kid? It was that fast. There are QR codes to direct them to the right spot on applications for your units as well. So that can be just, Erica, how does that work again, the QR code? They just click a picture of the QR code and it pops right up, correct?
Yeah, so if the QR code, as the leader, as one of the key 3, you can see that in the My.Scouting, you have access to that QR code. You can then put that on a flyer, wherever you want to put that. The person uses their phone to take a picture. Well, actually on my iPhone, I don't even have to take a picture. I just open up the camera, point it at the QR code, and then a screen pops up and says, do you want to visit this website? So it'll bring you to the unit's Be a Scout page where they can then do the online application. So.
You also want to remind the parents that when they are paying right now, that they are only paying up until December. At that point, we will be having our recharters, and depending on what your pack of troops do, For us, what we try to do is take some of our fundraising money and use that towards registrations for recharter for them so that the families don't have a whole big impact, especially if you have 2 or 3 kids. That's a lot of money to put out, especially with the fees raised this year. And then step 5, have a question and answer session. Thank them for coming. Always thank them for coming and their interests, and introduce the leaders, have the leaders on at that point. Have them talk about their dens one at a time and their experiences. After the meeting is done, about a week to 2 weeks later, send them a follow-up note to thank them again. Maybe if they didn't register at that point, they may say, oh, I forgot to do that. Let me go ahead and get that done. Council would like recruitment nights to be completed by October 31st. They know that this year is harder. Usually we try to get it done in September at some point, but because of school starting late and the COVID and all that, we're going to try to get it all done by October 31st. Anyone that is a new scout as well that signs up this year will also be giving a rocket. There will not have a rocket night or rocket day like they had last year because there's too many people to do that in this situation with the COVID going on. They had almost 400 people go last year, the attendees. So we can't get anywhere near 400 this year. And if there's any scouts that want to purchase them, say their sibling is a new scout and they want the sibling wants to get one that's a scout, they are $2. And if you get a bunch of kids in your pack and you want to do a rocket night, what you need to do is you can borrow a launcher from the council, and you can do your own launch day. I believe, Erica, you still have some yard signs to put out. How do they reach?
Yeah, so we have a limited number of yard signs still at council, and I think I still have some. I still have to do an inventory of what I have in my garage. But I think I still have some Cub Scout signs. I might have a few Scouts BSA. And then there's a limited number. So if anybody needs any, let me know right away. And I can see what I can get for you for yard signs.
And I know I was talking to Rob about setting up a Facebook page because we don't have that. And that way we can try to reach out to more people in the area with the fencing. Is that what they call it?
Geofencing?
Geofencing?
Yeah, the geofencing.
And it's only it's a couple dollars per certain amount of time.
Yeah, so you set it for, so last year the council and actually it was a national grant that we got money to pay for that for the units, which we don't have this year, unfortunately, but they have, so basically on your Facebook page for your unit, you would create an event for your sign up night. Through that event, you use the boost button. So you're going to promote it or boost that so that more people see it. And then depending on how many people you want to reach, it'll show you, like, if you spend $1 a day, this is how many people you'll reach. If you spend $2 a day, this is how many people you'll reach. And you can set it up for a week before your event, 2 weeks before your event. And I said, now that, so basically you set that up, and then the unit, and then your sign up night, you set your radius, you can choose whatever in your town is the hot spot where everybody goes. If it's, it might not necessarily be the school this year because, it might be if you have more parents dropping kids off. it might be the grocery store or, wherever the hotspot is, set it up around that area in your town. And then so that you reach however many people, and you set the budget, and it'll tell you exactly how much it would cost up front. And then it'll boost your event so that someone goes through that area of the radius that you set up, they'll see a promotion for your sign up night event in their news feed at some point on their Facebook.
Okay. And that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, if there's no questions, we made a short video, which goes along a little bit with what Dave was doing in his one-man sleeping situation. Wes, you set to go?
I'm gonna try. Here we go.
This is something new for us, so hopefully this works out.
Okay, now share screen.
Can you guys see that?
Oh man, is that an ugly looking guy?
All right, here we go.
Play. Is there?
Uh-oh, no audio. Uh-oh.
They can't hear it, right?
Yeah, let's stop it. Can you guys hear that?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm working at it. I'm new at this. This is what Quinn sent me, and I just hit shared.
Hi, Martha makes.
Uh-oh.
No,
Oh, I can hear it. But
barely. Okay. Well, this is fun. I don't know why. All the volume's up on everything. Headphones. There's no headphones. Logitech. Pull that out.
Well, Wes, what I could do is I could talk it through it as we're going here.
yeah, man.
There you go. We can't read your lips anyway, Dale, because of the mask, so just
We
have
went-
at it.
I was just trying to hide an ugly face, that's all. What we're talking about here is hammocks and different kinds of hammocks that can be put up. The hammock that we're demonstrating putting up here is a Hennessy hammock. We have straps that we put around the trees so the ropes don't cut into the trees. We tie the ropes to the straps. I got a strap in my hand there. Scott, over on the other tree, he's already setting his strap up.
I don't know.
We had a couple little Cub Scouts that did the videoing for us. So they jump around a little bit.
There's some audio, it's just not very loud. Do you hear it?
All right, this particular Hennessy hammock here has what we call snake skins. It's a little extra thing you can purchase for it. It protects the hammock, particularly if you're setting up in the rain. In a minute here, we'll pull those snake skins back.
Sierra, can you make that full screen? For some reason, Dale's the primary screen on mine now. And you're showing You're showing, oh, there we go. That looks better.
Is that better?
Yep, that's better.
There's some audio, but it's not.
Audio's hit and miss.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a simple knot that's put into the ends, but it's a very repetitive knot. And once it's together, it doesn't slip, it don't move. You can adjust the height of your hammock to however close you want it to the ground or far you want it from the ground by how far you put your straps up and down the trees. We had these straps a little bit low.
What's the time? Because then they can play. Oh, how far? I started.
Now, I've been out in these hammocks a couple times in thunderstorms.
No, I'm
I've
gonna
stayed
play.
perfectly dry. I put my equipment underneath the hammock, and so that stays dry. The nice thing about a hammock is I don't need flat ground. I don't have to worry about rocks. I don't have to worry about sticks. I don't have to worry about rolling over on that little tiny stump that somebody cut the top part off in the middle of the night. Your back sticking in your middle of your back.
Hey, Dale, we're going to try to play the video off my phone.
The audio.
The audio, I mean.
And what's nice about it,
Can you hear the audio?
You guys hear it now?
you're up off the ground. You don't have to worry about rocks. Any other thing.
Okay.
Rain fly slips right over the top. Now, one thing about the rain fly, you can adjust it. Got a lot of wind. You can adjust the rain fly down to block the wind. Middle of a hot summer, stretch your rain fly out so you get a breeze across. I've been out twice in a thunderstorm. I had it set pretty much normal. A little bit of breeze through and whatnot. I've been perfectly dry, as I said earlier. It was out one night, big wind, blowing through the tent all night. So I had to get out and pull my fly down to block the wind just so I could sleep that night. That was up on Cedar River Flow. Now, I have also been out. There's one drawback to using hammocks in cold weather. When you sleep in your sleeping bag, you crush all your insulation in the back, so you don't have much. So your bag has a tendency to get cold. We're going to show you a down comforter. It clips right on the underside of the stand on the rope here. It works a little easier. Right. wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Sorry. One nice thing about these, put your boots on, your shoes on, whatnot. This zips right up. It has a fly. So you keep your mosquitoes and bugs out. There's a little basket up here to put your eyeglasses, any other little things you might want at night, flashlight. Put a light right on the line here sometimes. Yep. Put your sleeping bag in. Zip down your fly. And when you fly over top of you, you're perfectly comfortable. Put your gear underneath. Keep your gear dry if it's raining out. There's a double zipper so you can zip from either side.
You look a little low there.
We got one side a little too low. Generally, when I sit down in it, I'm good 2 to 3 feet off the ground.
This clips right in. Snug this up. Put this under your torso and your back. Keeps you warm at night. I've been out, the temperature is down in the 20s and slept perfectly warm in this. And it's the hammocks run you about $225 for the adult version. This down quilt is about $200. It's made by Jackson Better. So it can be a little expensive. The quilt fits in that low green bag over there. Weighs only a few ounces. Great for backpacking. Breaks right up, freshes up nice. Hammock fits in the little green bag down there. I'm going to show you that bag got. Very compact. If you're talking about social distancing, everybody's got their own unit. You're spread apart. So you're definitely good for COVID. They're great backpacking tools, trekking tools. For legal trade purposes, you're probably crushing less vegetation over the top. Much less. You don't leave an imprint on the ground. Worst case scenario, you got a couple tent peg holes. That's about it. And if you're in a little brushy area, you don't need tent peg holes. You got a little sapling or something you can tie it down. And you never wake up in the morning with a rock or a stump in your back either. Yeah, or you're rolling and tossing all night with a rock or a stump in your back. Because you missed it when you put the tent up, or you put the tent up and now you got a hole in the floor because a little stump put a hole in the tent. If it rains and the water comes up underneath, so that might be a problem in the morning, but not at night. So, yeah, you literally can set these things up across the stream if you couldn't find any place else. Just got to make sure you got some stepping stones so you don't get your feet wet. You don't need level ground to set it up on. Just need 2 trees about 14 feet apart. The only things you might want to watch if it's cooler weather, just make sure that your rainfly, the wind is coming towards it as opposed to from the end. Because it will blow through and it will make you colder. So other than that, they're very comfortable and they're definitely year-round drafts if you want to use proper winter gear too. Since I've had this about 10 years. I don't think I've slept in my tent since I've had this. Much more comfortable. The only time I use a tent now is winter camping. Spring through fall is about 8 months out of the year. This is my preferred sleeping choice. I have a smaller version set up over here if you guys want to come over and see this. Getting your basically the same thing over here. Other than this, it's called the pump version for your size guys. A little shorter, a little smaller, a little lighter weight. Costs a little less. I got a good deal when I got this. My wife bought me that one for Christmas, and the deal was this came free. So that was a super deal for me. It saved me about $125. Nephew used it. Whatnot. We have another style hammock set up over here. If I can find West Rum someplace, hiding on us. I don't know where. Keep it out on us.
Wake up, Wes.
This is made by Winter Outfitters. This sets up in about 2 minutes. This is a super fast setup. It does not have a fly with it. But look who we found inside. After dinner. This is where he hides out when he doesn't want to be found. Good night. Good night. A couple clips there. You can keep the mosquitoes out. Just leave enough space up here so you can breathe and whatnot. If you bad fall weather, you just want to bring a tarp with you. Set up over the top of this, keep your rain out. And that about does it for alternative camping solutions. We'll do another demonstration on setting up different style tents and the advantages and disadvantages to the different styles. Weights for backpacking. These things are great backpacking tools. They don't weigh much. You can set them up anywhere. You don't have to worry about finding flat ground, smooth ground, soft ground. Anything. You'll sleep very comfortable. You want to fit in this little bag. So it doesn't take up much space in your thing. What's it weigh? A few ounces? Oh, yeah. Doesn't even weigh a pound. The big Hennessy hammock probably weighs just about a pound. And that's because I've got snake skins with them and the extra pieces.
So what?
Okay, does anybody have any questions? We're going to work on those videos, see if we can get a little better
Audio. So sorry about the audio. We watched the whole video and it was fine. I don't know how to do it through Zoom. Apparently, when I shared on Zoom, there was no audio.
Guys,
So-
one trick that I've learned with the videos is if you're playing it from your computer as opposed to trying to stream it through YouTube, it's going to run a lot better. So that might be something you want to try in the future.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Anybody else have anything? Any questions?
I do for Dara. What pack are you from? Is it Dara or Dara?
Where'd she go?
Give her a minute.
I have to do attendance for this. Oh, she can't unmute.
If you can't unmute, just type it in the chat box.
Heather is Luzerne.
Unmute.
Heather Thomas.
There she goes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome. Gotta get those kids to help out.
Oh, I know. I thought I
There
knew how
you
to do
go.
it. I'm actually from Troop 6013 in Lake George.
Okay.
13. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. If you come on, just try to print it under next to your name. I have to do the roundtable report, and I have to put in where everybody's from, and it's
Okay.
hard to figure out after. Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, this whole meet thing is new to me too, with how to access the mute and unmute and texting it.
Well, if you keep coming to roundtables, then it'll come natural to you.
Thank you.
One other thing on Cub Scout meetings and whatnot, if you're having trouble finding a place where you can hold your pack meeting because of the size or whatnot, you still can do a pack meeting online and then just do your den meetings in person where maybe it's at a parent's house or something. And you've only got a few kids in a den, but just keep a meeting. You know, we got to do the best we can do under the conditions we have. Does anybody else have anything to put in or whatnot?
The only thing I wanted to mention is we have the council virtual 5K that we're doing. So I don't know if everybody saw that on the Facebook pages or on the council website, but that's going to be October 3rd through the 10th. So we're going to do like a live kickoff day, kind of some fun things on Facebook on the 3rd. And then you have till the 10th to complete it. So the registration is open for that on the council calendar. If you have, you can do it any way that you want. You don't have to run. You can walk, you can skip, you can hop, however you want to do it. If you want to share it with anybody that you think might be interested, you're going to, within the fee for participation, you get, they're doing commemorative neck gaiters that'll have like the logo of the race on it. You'll get a medal, and then you'll get your racing bib with your number on it as well. And then we're hoping to make this something an annual. We don't know if we're going to do it again in the fall next year or if we might move it to the spring. But obviously we're also hoping it could be an in-person event at some point too, but virtual for this year. So that's all I have right now.
Okay, one other thing on, if anybody has any ideas of something we could do for a video, Roundtable, we've got 2 or 3 more videos done already, but we're still looking for ideas. If you want to make a video and you need our help, we get together and we can put something together for a future meeting. And I mean, we could do something now and then present it in the spring. It doesn't have to be a topic that's pertinent for right at the moment. But we're certainly open for ideas or whatnot. Anybody else have anything?
Dale, what's on tap for next month?
Can't remember off the top of my head, Frank.
We got search and rescue stuff? Well, we're gonna do that. I mean, I know I talked to Wes about it.
We probably could do search and rescue next month.
Yeah. Because we have 3 videos made, so we got more videos there. And we want to do that search and rescue, so we'll fit them in. In the next few months, get them sorted out.
I can set up another quick Zoom meeting between you, Dale, and whoever, and we can make sure that the video is working properly with Zoom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my daughter's researching it right now because I watched the video, and then the problem come when I shared screen and put it up. We had no audio, so it's all new to me. It was my first try. Maybe I'll have Quinn send them to you. Have you done this before, Frank?
We can also set up, a Zoom to, before the next roundtable and play it and see if we can get it working so that we know exactly what to do before the roundtable starts.
Oh, okay.
We can always set up, do it that way too.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to everybody for the audio.
Well, we didn't have much time on this. We made the audio Sunday afternoon.
And
so
we're
only 48 hours later.
Like, a lot of us are new to this. We understand. We appreciate you doing what you're doing, trying to get this stuff done. So much appreciated. Don't worry about apologizing. It's by the next one, hopefully everything will be set. We'll get it going, and it's fine.
Okay, if nobody has anything else, thank you for attending. And I guess we're done, Erica.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.